Mystikal actually served 6 years for rape, and he's a registered sex offender. And he actually was faced with a second allegation, but beat it. Now he's faced with a third allegation, and this time he's facing life in prison. And he was also charged with a bunch of drugs: methamphetamine, heroin, cocaine, and a lot of other things. Now, I remember Mystikal from 1998. I had a tape, and it only had one song on it. It ain't my fault. Did I do that? It ain't my fault. This is when they had promo tapes in the 90s. Now, let's listen what he's alleged to have done now. And the public seems to have given up on Mystikal because this is the third time he's gotten in trouble for rape. And, yeah, man, a lot of people are done with him. And, yeah, man, he's facing life.
Discuss some finances. And at some point, that conversation went very, very far left. She said that he seemed fine when they were initially talking. At some point, he stepped away, maybe to the restroom. He came back a completely different person. And that was when he began to come on to her.
This warrant for Mystikal's arrest details exactly what he's accused of. The woman had cuts, bruises on her arms, leg, face, mouth, and neck and hair yanked from her scalp. The warrant alleges Mystikal punched her, pulled her braids from her head, took her phone and keys to prevent her from leaving, choked her to the point she could not breathe, and forcibly raped her. The victim alleges Mystikal verbally berated her, spit in her face, and threw rubbing alcohol on her, claiming that she had bad spirits on her, that it would help cleanse. No one came to the door at his home on Retreat Lane in Prairieville, but neighbors on this quiet street told me he was always cordial and waved. But he also kept to himself and was a recluse. In 2014, we caught up with him on a ride-along with deputies as they checked on convicted sex offenders, which he is.
How you doing?
At the time, he told us he knew how important these checks are, especially when sex offenders are in your neck of the woods.
I have the same fears that most parents have. You know, I don't have no offense against young kids and nothing like that. Don't make my offense no better, but still, protect your kids, man. Protect your kids. That's, our kids are the most important thing that we have.
He also said being a sex offender had not stopped him from living.
Don't do the pity party thing, I have to participate in sex offender groups and stuff like that twice a month. It don't stop your life, man.
Despite his fame, the sheriff's office says he's not being treated any differently tonight.
He didn't show the victim any sympathy, and he doesn't get any sympathy or